Found out that I don't need to have a social security number for me to get a US license. So with New Mexico, with Illinois, and with Texas, you do not need a social security number for you to get a US license. So that's why many international people use these states. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chinaza. If this is your first time here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you. So today we are going to be responding to a comment, and it's asking what are the detailed amounts that I spent on my US journey, how much I spent personally, and what are their current prices. Okay. So the first thing I spent my money on was the CGFNS. So I spent my money on the Professional Credential Evaluation, the CES. In 2021, I spent $365 to obtain that. And right now it goes for $450. This is the first thing you need. And I needed my transcript and my WAEC as well, and my license to be evaluated. For transcript, this doesn't cut across every other person. This is just how much my school charged me for it. I paid 9,000 naira for the transcript itself, and then 21,000 naira for the DHL to the US. So that was a total of 30,000 naira. Right now, my school, they process their transcript for 15,000 naira per copy. So that's 15,000 naira plus how much DHL is going for right now, which is about 30 to 40k. So you're looking at 45 to up to 50k right now if you want to do this. The WAEC notary, I spent 1,000 naira per copy, so it wasn't too much or crazy money. I just decided to notarize my WAEC, the original WAEC, just to be able to send it, and they know that, oh, it's a notary, so it stands as correct. For my National Midwifery Council Nigeria in 2021 June, then it wasn't online. It wasn't now that you have to do it online. So then I paid somebody 68,000 naira to be able to do it for me. He worked in National Midwifery Council, so he did everything for me and sent it. It took about 6 weeks for them to send mine. So why I'm not recommending this person is I recommended him to somebody after I got mine, and it took almost 6 months to be able to sort out that person, and he was just being very nasty to them. I'm just happy that it worked out for me, but you know, I don't want to be liable, because for that 6 months I felt so bad because he worked out for me and now it's not working out for them. So I stopped recommending him to anybody. In the following year, which was 2022, National Midwifery Council made their website in such a way that you can request for your verification by yourself and they would send it. Now I don't know how well that works out, but that was it. So all these fees that I'm mentioning is what I spent as a nurse in Nigeria. And I'm also going to talk about later on in the video, if you are in UK, if you are in Ghana, if you're in Kenya, if you're in any other countries outside the US, how you can also do this. Now to the Texas Board of Nursing registration, because I use Texas Board, so you could use Texas Board, New Mexico Board, Illinois Board. These three boards are the ones that I would recommend. Any other one you can use it, but at your own peril. And if you're trying to go for, you're doing, oh, I want to work in California and things like that, you can always get your license from Texas or from New Mexico or from Illinois. Or when you come into the US and you've gotten your social security number, then you can now endorse your license to California or any other states that require social security number. All these things I'm mentioning to you, their requirements are on all their official website. So if you go to Texas Board of Nursing website, you would see all the requirements you need for an international license applicant. Okay, what I did was I went and I read their page through and through, and I found out that I don't need to have a social security number for me to get a US license. So with New Mexico, with Illinois, and with Texas, you do not need a social security number for you to get a US license. So that's why many international people use these states. Now people might be confused, why states? Why no national? For example, in Nigeria and other countries, most countries, like I know of Philippines too, in Nigeria and in the Philippines, there are just one general board of nursing. Like the way we have the National Nursing and Medical Council of Nigeria, NMCN. They oversee every single person in the 36 states of Nigeria that are nurses. They oversee them, and they are the issuing body of the national license. Unlike the United States, they do not have a general body like that issuing this license. They just have an association of American nurses, but that is not the body that issues the license. So each state has their own board of nursing. The United States has 50 states, so there are 50 board of nursing in the United States. Each board of nursing have their unique requirements to obtain their license, either by examination, which is the NCLEX, or either by endorsement, which is you have a license in another state in the United States and you're endorsing your license to their states. So they have all their requirements. So let's dive back in how much I spent. I know you must be enjoying this video and getting so much value from it. Why don't you hit the subscription button, like this video, and comment on it? When you do this, YouTube pushes this video out so that more people could see it and more people could gain more values just like you were doing. So without further ado, let's jump right back into the video. Thank you. So for Texas Board of Nursing registration, I spent $75. Right now I can't really give you the correct figure, but it's around $75 to $100 right now. And then for the Texas Board of Nursing, once you register, they give you a list of what they need you to do, which is your fingerprints, your NJE exam, pay for your person view registration, which is your NCLEX, and your CES, which is why you were doing it in the first place. So automatically you've paid for your CES already, so that would come to them. The second thing you need to do is your fingerprint. So for the fingerprint, once you register, they are going to send you an email via what is known as Identigo. So Identigo is a fingerprint criminal background screening company in the United States that try to say, okay, does this person have a criminal background? Let's see their fingerprint. Because why you ask why fingerprint? Fingerprint is unique to everybody. So your fingerprint, has it been obtained by the police? Do you have any records? Are there anything in your name? Just to be sure you don't have any felony charges, you never had any murder cases or anything like that, you're clean. So that fingerprint registration is $38.72. Quite specific. So I'm just going to round that up to about $40. Okay, that's how much you would spend. You spend about $40 on that. And then the fingerprint card, if you were in the United States, because I did my fingerprint for my New Jersey license, what I had to do was just go to an Identigo office and I just did it right there and then. But if you are in Nigeria, if you are outside the United States, these are the things you can do. You obtain a FBI, a Federal Bureau of Investigation, their fingerprint card. You can see it on their official website. What I did was I went to FBI page and I downloaded it and I printed it out. Printing it out was like, and I did about 2 or 3 photocopies, so everything was like 15 naira. I don't know how much printing now is in Nigeria. And then the ink, I used the cyber cafe center that I went to. I borrowed their stamping ink, placed my finger on the ink, and did the rows on each of them just the way it was instructed. I did 2 copies. So one was my testing to be sure that I'm getting it right for myself. That was not the one I sent. When I was sure that, okay, this is what I needed to do, I practiced and it was working, it was good. Then I now brought out the paper that I was going to send to them. Now some people were always like, oh, I'm looking for that paper. You can use an A4 paper, a normal A4 paper, and print it out. That was what I used. Once you pay, they're going to send you a form. I read that form and I sent it via DHL. Sending it via DHL, so it's to DHL my fingerprint. I spent 25,000 naira in 2021 to do this, but right now DHL is around 40,000 naira. Even for the lowest base is about 40,000 naira. And after that, I paid for my Pearson View registration, which is for the NCLEX itself. That is $200. Okay, that's a flat fee. It's $200. And then because there's no center in Nigeria and I'm not writing in the United States, I had to pay a scheduling fee. So if you were doing any place in the world except London, it's about $150. But for London, it's $180. So $180 was what I paid. And then because I went to the UK, so my UK visa fee itself was $130. And this was the first time I was ever leaving Nigeria, and I didn't want to make a mistake in visa. I know that people have issues when it comes to visa. I didn't want to make a mistake with that, so I paid an agent 50,000 naira for them to process my visa for me. Also, I paid 27,000 naira for a priority fee. So because I wanted my biometrics to be in the morning around 8 a.m., I want to be around among the first 2 people that was called in. So I did that. I paid that 27,000 naira just to be one of the first. I got there by 7:30 in the morning, and by 7:45 they were already calling people in, and they called me in as well. Okay, so I just did that because I wanted to be out of that place. Also, I paid for proof of funds for my UK, proof of sponsor for my UK. Somebody sponsored me, and I paid around 50k for that as well. My flight to the UK in 2022 February, I paid 380,000 naira was what I paid for that flight. But when I was coming back, because I booked the flights to go from I think 3rd of March to the 12th of March, but due to unforeseen circumstances like failing the NCLEX, I didn't come back on the 12th. I came back on the 25th of May. So rescheduling that flight cost me an extra 150,000 naira to come back to Nigeria. Yeah, so basically that's how much I spent up until this point. Every other fee that was spent from after the NCLEX down to coming into the United States was my agency that paid, because I am single. Now, if you're in the United Kingdom, you would have to verify your UK license as well when you're doing your CGFNS licenses verification. If you are in any other country outside Nigeria, if you have 5 licenses all over the world, you have to verify all 5 of them. You have to do verification for each and every one of them. All right, so that is very important to note. If you also did your BSc in the UK, or you did your BSc in Canada, or you did your BSc in somewhere else and you want to come to the US, you would also have to send your transcript for evaluation. You also have to send your transcript to CGFNS for the same credential evaluations. Personally, this is my advice. If you have a diploma and you have a BSc from a Nigerian university, because I know how Nigerian university works, they are quite slow. We're not going to lie. All right. They are quite slow when it comes to processing transcripts. Most School of Nursing have proven to be faster than the federal universities. If you are in that dilemma, I would say that you should just verify your diploma alone. When you come to the United States, you can always use your degree to do whatever thing you need to use it for. You don't have to, go through that stress or that struggle initially. One thing to note before you pay for your CES, your professional CES, please make sure that you are filling in the correct things. In the US journey, one single mistake can make your journey go from a 1 year to 5 years, because you're trying to correct mistakes. It's not easy to correct any mistakes you make, so try as much as you can not to make mistakes. Make sure you read it, make sure you proofread it. If you have to pay somebody to go through your CGFNS with you, to have that second set of eyes, to be sure that, okay, this is right, this is wrong, take this out, put this in, before you pay that $450, please do. It is very important that you do so, okay? So basically, that's how much I spent in total and how much it could cost right now. Flight right now to the United Kingdom is quite expensive. There are other places you can also ride the anklet. It's not just in the UK. You can ride in the Philippines, you can ride in South Africa. I don't personally recommend. You can ride in Brazil, you can go to India, you can go to Turkey. So you can also come to the US to ride your anklets if you have a B1 or a B2 visa. But just know that when you do that, they will also want you to come back to Nigeria to be able to file your EB3 visa for you, or you have to find an agency or an employer who is willing to do adjustment of status for you while you're in the United States. So these are like some things you should know, and basically that's how much I spent so far before my agency took over. One of the fees I didn't mention earlier was the IELTS. I paid 78,000 naira then for my IELTS. I think IELTS now is 87 or 83. I can't remember how much it is, but that is what you pay for IELTS. All right. For people who are married or have children, here are some of the extra fees that you might want to note down that you have to pay. The fee bill, because you have to pay for your family members. The agency will pay for you, but you have to pay for your family members, and it is $345 per person. All right, $345 per person. So that's just one of the extra expenses that you have to pay. And also start putting money together for your flight tickets, because most agencies pay for you while you pay for your family's flight ticket. One thing I want to also mention, please is that do not allow how much this costs to derail you or to make you feel like you can't do this. Like I said in my previous videos, I was making about 120 to 160k per month in Nigeria at the time. I was living way below my means. I was using a phone that I was using for over 5 years. I was not buying clothes every other weekend. I was not eating out every other day. I was not going out for parties every other time. So I was trying to cut down my clothes according to my size and put it in my goal. I know it might not be easy for some people. I moved out initially when I had a previous job, but when I saw that I needed to put money in this my US journey, there was no point wasting money on rent when I could live with my parents. These are the things I have to put in place just to be able to make that money, just to be able to put that money into this process. All right, so that's basically how much I spent on this journey. Thank you so much for watching. Please do well to subscribe, do well to share, and do well to like this video, and also comment in the comment section. I would answer if I have to make a video about it, just like I did for this one. I would. Okay, and if it's something I can just answer in the comment section, I would as well. Okay, all right, thank you so much for watching. Bye.